Zilliqa never ceases to amaze me. This cryptocurrency has been performing well for the past few months, and look at what has been happening to the price of Zilliqa, regardless of the whole entire cryptocurrency just basically underperforming. Zilliqa has been doing tremendously well. Look at that. Bitcoin is down by almost 10%. Ethereum, pretty much everything is down except for Zilliqa, because Zilliqa is freaking awesome. And we are going to be talking about the BTC value, and we're going to do a little bit of technical analysis. We are also going to take a look at the BCH, because I really wanted to, talk about this, because I really believe it's about to sort of have a breakout. And for those of you who happen to be active traders, I think this information might be very useful to you. But this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Whatever you do, please do your own due diligence. So besides that, I just want to show you my Bitcoin trade, because I am about 938% in profit. I did sell, or rather short Bitcoin around 10,430. That's obviously looking at the June 26th futures contract. So my short is doing very well, and I really believe that Bitcoin is going to continue going down, because clearly we had a little bit of distribution, and I think we have to chill, especially with regards to Bitcoin. Look at the weekly chart. We have done tremendously well, and the most important thing is obviously the volume. The volume has been very tremendous in comparison to the previous weeks and this particular level right over here. But we always have to be realistic and sober, and there are situations, or rather moments, where we are going to be having some sort of corrections. Like for example, right over here, we also ended up having corrections right around that area, and then we also ended up having another correction right around that area. So we are obviously not going to continue going up. So if you guys are in profit right now, just think of taking a little bit of ZIL off of the table and just going to USD Tether or any stablecoin that you really prefer, and then just try to buy it a little bit cheaper, because obviously we are going to end up coming back down, and then we're going to find some sort of support at any price level. So right now I can't really say where we are going to be having our price support, but as soon as that happens, I'm obviously going to be giving you a heads up. But taking a look at what has been happening in the past, right, we obviously have some very good days of significant downturns. Volume is a very good sign that gives us a heads up saying, okay, there's going to be a little bit of buying power, and perhaps we might end up continuing to the upside. So if you take a look at this, right, we had a very good significant drop in the volume, and then we had an increase in the volume right over there. So you can always take a look at the volume as well, and then you can just base your judgment off of that. So more of the story is we might end up correcting anytime soon. So if you guys are long term, if you're dollar cost averaging, well, that's absolutely fine. You can always come back after 1 or 2 years. But if you guys really want to squeeze all the profits out of this particular cryptocurrency, then getting a little bit of profit off of the table is not really going to hurt your pockets. Let's take a look at ZIL USD pair, and I'm not really too happy about this particular pair, because we are having these overbought conditions right over here on the weekly, and this is like a double top right over here. We are in extreme levels of being overbought, and that could be some signs of trouble coming ahead, and we just have to be on the lookout. So ideally, it is important to only be buying in extreme levels of being oversold, like right around these levels. But right now we are literally at the top. So who knows what's going to happen in the next coming few weeks. Perhaps we might just end up coming back down to the zero threshold, and then hopefully doing that and then continuing our trajectory to the top. So that's why I'm saying that you always have to be very, very careful. Taking a look at the Fibonacci levels, right, we are most likely going to come back to the 618 level, which is around this area. So I'm getting to buy around this price point, which is going to be about $0.009 like literally around this area. I think it's going to be very good, and it might even end up dropping all the way down to this level, but you just always have to be extremely careful. So remember, always dollar cost average. Overall, I am so happy and so excited about Zilliqa, and if we had to scrutinize everything, right, this is looking like a Wyckoff accumulation phase, where for example we have this sort of downturn right over here. So let me just show you the Wyckoff schematic. This right over here is the Wyckoff accumulation schematic, and it really seems that we experienced a spring and we are having this amazing uprise in terms of the price appreciating in value. So if we take a look at the spring, right, this is obviously what we experienced on the Zilliqa USD tether. This is the spring right over here. So what usually happens is the price just continues going up high, and then it's sort of going to come back to test this level of support right over here. So this was the previous resistance that we were facing, right? So you obviously know what usually happens. Previous resistance turns into support. So when that happens, we are obviously going to start bouncing off of this area, and then boom shakalaka, we're just going to continue our upward trajectory. This is one of the reasons why the Wyckoff schematics are very important. So this is where we are supposed to be sort of accumulating a lot of Zilliqa right over here. So taking a look at the previous resistance, which is corresponding to this price level, like right around 0.0118, around 1 cent. So this is basically where there is quite a lot of support. So obviously the price is going to just end up ranging around this area, then continue its upward trajectory to the moon. Enough about Zilliqa. Now let's talk about Bitcoin Cash. Now this is a very controversial cryptocurrency because a lot of you don't really like Roger Ver. A lot of you don't really like Craig, right? And this cryptocurrency had quite a lot of controversy back in the day, but I don't really care about that. All I want to do is make that shmoney, that nakamane, if you know what I mean. So yeah, taking a look at the Bitcoin Cash BTC pair, right, we are obviously experiencing this amazing amount of volume. This is one of the reasons why I am suddenly just beginning to get aroused by what Bitcoin Cash is doing, especially on the BTC, the BTC BCH chart right over here. So if we take a look at the amount of volume that we are having, right, this is obviously institutional money, or rather insider traders, or the people that really know that, okay, we are going to start pumping the price of Bitcoin Cash pretty soon. So if you take a look at that buying power, it is very significant, and we actually went above the resistance, the previous resistance. So any daily close above this resistance is just going to be like a very bullish signal. Let's take a look at the weekly, right? If we take a look at the weekly, let's also take a look at the MACD and the volume zone oscillator. So taking a look at this information, look at that, we are obviously running out of sellers, and we are gaining momentum as far as buying these cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin Cash is concerned. And taking a look at the volume zone oscillator, right, we are literally at the bottom. So this is one of the reasons why I was telling you, as far as Zilliqa is concerned, right, it is very ideal, or rather recommended, for us to obviously get to buy cryptocurrencies that are in oversold levels, like right around this area. So obviously I am going to be looking forward to trading Bitcoin Cash, because Bitcoin Cash is actually on BitMEX and I leverage trade. Please do not do leverage trading, because you're going to get wrecked, and yeah, nobody really wants to do that. So please be extremely careful. But the volume, so enticing. The MACD, way too sexy. The VZO, the volume zone oscillator, is too sexy for me to leave Bitcoin Cash, just go, just walk away from me like that, if you get what I'm saying. So this is one of the reasons why you have to be very observant on the price of Bitcoin Cash as far as Bitcoin Cash is concerned. So if we refresh the coin market cap, right, today is the 3rd of June, right, and the price is around $249, and the BTC price is right over here. So just take a look at that, and then just come back after a week or after a month, and then we are going to see what is going to be happening. The Bitcoin Cash USD pair, it's not really that convincing. It's not really as appealing as the Bitcoin Cash BTC pair, but if you take a look at the MACD, right, it's not really that bad. We are just beginning our upward momentum, and that is on a significant time frame, which is like the weekly, which is pretty dope and pretty awesome. So if we take a look at the VZO, right, we are obviously not really like in the best ideal area to get to buy Bitcoin Cash. I wouldn't really be surprised if we had to sort of have a spring type of deal, just like we had with Zilliqa, and then just continue going up like that. So that is also very possible, especially when it comes to the USD pair as well. So be extremely careful, because you never know what the price of Bitcoin is going to be like tomorrow, because Bitcoin dropped by about 10% in a matter of 5 minutes, which is very common in cryptocurrencies, and is something which is not really extraordinary. So obviously getting to see a spring action wouldn't be that far-fetched. So just like I told you on the Wyckoff accumulation, right, we might have this particular scenario right over here. So in case that happens, you already know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be just buying it up, and then obviously getting to trade it, and we are having some sort of resistance right around this area, right? So in case the spring action gets to happen and then we end up dipping like that, right, obviously getting to buy the spring level and then just trading it all the way up until we crash this particular resistance is going to be ideal. Then getting to sell right around that area before it just comes back to test the support level is obviously going to be extremely profitable. So it's all about doing what you have to do in order to make this money. So you know, I'm just a trader, and I'm just trading the volatility. I don't really care whether you guys love Craig Wright or, you know, George, you know, that guy, the Roger Ver guy. I don't really care about that. All I want to do is take advantage of the volatility. I do not really have much to talk about today, so you already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. It's been your boy Muna, and yeah, I'm obviously going to be talking to you tomorrow. Be good, stay blessed, and take care.